Good morning. I am exhausted, but we're gonna make this happen this morning. I'm tired, I'm cold. So, as you guys can see, I'm down this morning. It's completely my fault, and it's due to my fatigue, if I'm being completely honest. Um, I got into, I think, two trades that just I shouldn't even been in, and I'm just tired. Being tired doesn't normally affect my performance because typically I can like push through the tiredness for that 2.5 hours. But man, I was just so sleepy. I just wasn't really paying attention. But I brought it back a little bit. I did get one win in there. And then I actually had a second trade that blew through my take profit, but didn't close the order and then went and hit my break even. So that's trash. But I got up, moved around while I was waiting for the high impact news to come in. So hopefully I'll be okay for the next 2 hours so I can take a really nice nap as soon as this is all done. So yeah, so I did decide today I was going to trade with the wrinkles on my chart versus a time-based chart. I guess I could put them side by side if I wanted, just so people, I guess, could correlate a little bit. But I also wanted you guys to be able to really see kind of what I see, because as I've, said previously, things look much different on Rinkos than it does on time-based candles. All right, so I guess I could do that. Just so you all can see. But yeah, hopefully I don't make any more mistakes today. I'm going to try to pay attention as much as possible. And we're going to go from there. Just had to push off of the new high, which was also at what is that? That's the previous open. Let's see if we could bring this back to being positive. I did spend time yesterday going through yesterday's trades. Like, I think it was at nighttime. And there were so many trades yesterday that I was not supposed to be in, but that one wasn't my fault. This morning was my fault. I was tired. But yesterday was not my fault. So what happened was the dots are from the Ninja Co. Super, what is it? Fame Super Pivot. When I back test with I back test with 7 days worth of data. Okay. But my live charts have always been 5 days worth of data. So typically, after the session is over, once I get off the stream, I write all of my trades into my physical trade journal, and I go to the trade performance tab. I write all the trades down, what time they happen, things like that, whatever. And I kind of write down, what the charts look like. Was it right after a new high, right after a new low? Were we at a pivot level? Those kind of things. So I did that, right? Well, I did that right after the session. And then last night I was looking at some other stuff on my back test chart, and I just decided to pull up that same day's information as well, which I don't normally do. So as I'm going through on the 7 days worth of data on my back test chart, I was like, oh, I didn't write down the trades that were at the support levels or the resistance levels. But then I was like, wait a second. There's no way I was so absent-minded yesterday that I took these trades that at these levels that weren't valid. Like I've said consistently, there are certain levels that I do not trade at, like the yellow dotted line and things like that. Cool. So I'm like, I know I'm not tripping. So I go into my online trading journal, which I'm so thankful that I have. Go into that, and I look at the screenshot because it takes a screenshot of my trades on entry and exit. I said, that level wasn't there. What is going on? So I go back to my my live stream workspace that I use on NinjaTrader. I'm like, that level is not there. What is going on? That is when I realized, oh shoot, that indicator paints different on 7 days worth of data than 5. So I have since updated my charts, my live charts that I trade off of, to 7 days, because all of my data is based on 7 days of history being on the chart, not 5. So that would have made a significant difference in yesterday's performance, the day before's performance, the day before. Like it's pretty extreme. And I just cannot believe that I didn't realize that. I didn't. And it's so crazy because of some of the frustrating moments this week. All of the frustrating moments led to me discovering something. So one of them was discovering that, hey, I do need the support and resistance back on my charts, not just the middle pivot level. Another thing, realizing I have to have the 7 days worth of data on my chart and not 5. So every day this week, I forgot what it was the very first day, but every day this week has caused me to realize something extremely important that significantly affects my trading decisions and my setups. So it's a testament to, like, a lot of people, including myself. I've given up on my trading journey so many times in the last 9 years. That's why it's taken me 9 years. But it's just a testament to, like, not to say literally everything in this world happens for a reason, because I don't ever feel like bad things happen to good people for a good reason. You get what I'm saying? However, most things that don't have to do with something like that happen for a reason. When you're getting frustrated and you're ready to quit, sometimes because there's been so many times where I feel like, okay, I got it now. This is exactly how I want things to be. And then the market conditions change and show me, like, yo, that's not going to work for every market condition. Like, you want your strategy to be able to. Back to the drawing board. Feel like I'm good again. Nope, you missing this one little thing. So things have been like such blessings in disguise for me, honestly. And I'm so grateful for all of the learning lessons, to be honest with you. And as frustrating as things can be sometimes, I'm just super grateful. I really am. I am. 440. That looks a little crazy. Um, yeah, I'm just so grateful, honestly. And I just hope that over time, I just continue to get better. And as much as I feel like I should have had this by now, with me being kind of solely focused on this for the last, since November, I would say about November of last year, I've had to change things up so much. I've gone from intraday swings to, trading, being in a trade for only like 30 minutes, to trying to scalp. Like, trying to develop a scalping strategy is tough, especially when you're just not buy, sell all willy nilly. Like, I want something super structured so that if I ever decide, once I get to a certain point of consistently withdrawing profits, which it would have to be at least a year, year and a half. If I ever wanted to teach, I wanted something where it's not based on psychology. It's based on, if your charts don't look like this, don't take the trade. If your charts look like this, take the trade, and that's it. So that's been the other thing. I want something that makes sense for me, but makes sense for the average person as well. So it's been tough, but I know that in the end, it's going to be so worth all of the headaches, all of the sleepless nights, all of the 14, 15, 16-hour days on my charts, all of the neglecting my video game, which for me is like my stress reliever. Just neglecting so many things, not spending as much time with family sometimes, and things like that, like the things that really suck. But sometimes you just got to do what you got to do to get where you want to be. And that's where I'm at right now. But that's another reason why I wanted to document my journey, because I want to be able to look back at these moments and really feel like, man, I really did it. Like, I really, really did it. It might have took longer than I wanted it to, but I really, really did it. And I'm going to get there. Good morning, Rand. Two. What is the open of that candle? That's 42 as well. I hope you have a good trading session this morning, and thank you. Trying to bring back some losses from some trades I wasn't supposed to be in. I was extremely tired when I first got on this morning, and usually it doesn't really affect how I trade, but baby, this morning it did. I think, like, I don't really go to bed until about 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'm waking right back up at 8. But that's because I'm a night owl. I've always worked nights. When I was working as a nurse, I worked the overnight shift. So even in this year of me focusing on trading and not having to work anymore at the moment, I still am not used to going to bed at a normal time. There's times where I do get extremely tired, and by 10:30 at night, I'm trying to go to sleep, or I'm at least laying in the bed. I try not to go to sleep because I know I'm going to be right back up at 4 in the morning and not be able to go back to sleep. But I think that I didn't get very much sleep last night. I know that for sure. But then also only getting like 5.5, 6 hours of sleep every night this week probably didn't help, to add on top of me not sleeping well last night. So, but today I decided to put the wrinkles on the charts as well as time-based charts so you guys can see side by side, and more so see how I see things versus how most people see things. um, greens. So I'm in an overall uptrend bias until it hits 98.75 if it ever gets down there. I am looking to buy at the close of this reversal bar, just off of a little bit of divergence. Anytime I'm getting into a divergence trade going in the same direction that my overall bias is, I'm okay with the larger pullbacks for it. All right, that would close right at my major level. I'm not going to take that one. If that one closes. Wasn't I supposed to color that differently? Why did I do that? I don't want to reload it on my charts though, so I'll just let it be. All right, I'm not going to get into a sell. My levels are out of order. We kind of went out of order like right here. So we might see a little bit of consolidation, possibly. Oh, you can already see it on the time-based charts. Another thing I realized back testing yesterday was a lot of times when my levels are out of order, because I know consolidation will follow, I don't get into any trade at all. Not any trades that are actually going in the direction of the trend. However, I did realize yesterday that there's only really one setup that matters where I can't get in if the levels are out of order. But no matter what, even on the other ones that I can get into when the levels are out of order, my minor level still has to be in front of the other two, because that lets me know that the minor trend is strong enough to be able to handle going in the opposite direction of the overall trend. As long as we don't come down to this support, or yeah, it's a resistance level, but the support level down there, I'll be looking to get into a buy at the reversal of this candle. All right, and it just touched it. So another thing that I am no longer doing, anytime I have divergence like this, hopefully, yeah, you can see both sides. If it touches the support or resistance level, I don't get into it. All right, these are out of order still, but so I'm not going to get into any sales still. But yeah, anytime it wicks or just anything touches the support level on a divergence trade, I noticed that with some of them, like if it wicks off, it can be kind of like 50-50 basically. If the body of the candle closes over it, I noticed that that one loses way more often. And then if it ever rotates over it, then the same thing. It just doesn't win very often. So that one in particular just happened to win, but a lot of times it's not going to. So I'm so glad that I ended up putting those levels back on my chart, because I used to have them on there a long time ago, and then I thought that they didn't matter. Um, 341. Nope. Too much volume there. I could have got into that buy, and I should have. The volume pushed like just in time for me to. The only reason I didn't is because in other setups of my pullbacks to my major level, I can't get into the trades when they hit off of my mid level first. So I just stayed out because that doesn't happen very often like that. So I'll just make note of it just to see if I'm safe to do it on that particular setup, just not the other two. Since it is technically going with the trend, I would have been just fine with that one. Alright, so my levels are back in order. So I can look to get into buys again. It was a perfect trade to stay out of on this one. I'm going to take the longest nap ever today. Wake up, go to the grocery store. you see that? Oh, okay. I needed to move the market analyzer out of my way. All right, so if we push up from here, I'll get into a buy with this particular reversal bar. If it pushes down, it'll invalidate it and I have to wait all over again. It's stuck at my minor level right now at 37. I think that what 37.25. Just trying to figure out if it's gonna close above it or below. I don't even like the way that looked when it closed. Nope. That's cool. And I might start doing stuff like here, when the body of the candle closes on the open, close, those levels, I probably just won't take the trade going back towards it. So it all just depends. It's all learning lessons. Typically, I'm fine doing it, but if it's gonna be something where like half the time I'm winning, half the time I'm losing, I'd rather just not take it at all. Because if it wins all 3 times last week but loses all 3 times this week, well, it's pointless. You could just miss out on that extra little bit if it does win that particular day and keep it moving, really. All right, no sales right now. I just can't believe I got into those couple of trades this morning. Like, what was I doing? I'm so tired, but that just usually isn't a problem for me. But it's like that sometimes. Push through the session high to create a new high. Good morning. Man, come on. Come on, come on. What do I have left? Like 750 in this account. Thought we were going to be able to push through, and we still might be able to. A tight stop loss might have screwed me on that one. It's cool. I would have hit my break even. I can't get into any sales off the new high. Didn't push far enough up for me. All right, now it has. Only thing about a tight stop loss, losses like that are annoying. But you gotta take the good with the bad. Dang it. Gotta take the good with the bad. Because it's better than having a super wide stop with a negative risk to reward ratio. So we're still going up. And you know what? What is this? The low. Yeah, I'm actually not going to take the sell regardless. Because I'm trying to start paying attention to the prior open and close and the current open lines. Start paying attention to those again because I know this is still affecting my results. It's how I lost this morning. One of my losses. And a couple of losses earlier this week. It's really weird because it doesn't seem like the prior high and low are affected as much. It's just the open and close, which is so weird. Because most people pay more attention to the highs and lows as support and resistance versus the open and close. The biggest thing is I need for this account to at least survive next week. Because I don't have any other accounts I could trade my other $50,000 account, but I don't want to start trading that until Monday. Actually, one, two, three. Actually, I might start trading it next week because. Oh no, that's that one. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I can't start trading that till the 15th. So. As long as this one can last next week, we'll be good. Alright, let's see what happens. Watch, this will be the one that I would have watched. I do need to but I need to put my trailing back on. And there goes my take profit. It always happens that way. Literally, this is the same trade. Well, not the same exact trade, but this is one of the same trades I lost yesterday. But it wasn't a divergence trade, so maybe, I don't know. I wouldn't have taken that one regardless, just because it was too much volume that had to push it off of the new high anyway. See if I can get a push off of my mid-level down here. Pull back there. So it is after 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, I need to fix that. Don't do that to me. It came 1 tick from my take profit. That's such trash. That is such trash. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What's that bar closes? 60. I feel like it's 40. $24.40. I'm trying to figure out. I used to have a trailing setting. Let me see. Let's do 40. Profit trigger is 7 would be 14, 15, 14. Every 2 bars. See if that works. Because I really don't remember. I don't feel like looking through my journal. I feel like that's what it is though. Because if that's the stop loss, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Let me go for why would it be 38 and not 40? All right, well, let's try it with 30 first, 38. That's weird. It should be 40, right? Let's try it. Because I need to see my trail move with the close of the bar. All right, that has to be 1980. I got time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Maybe it is 38. Okay. I'll take it, I guess. I'll know when I get into the next trade if that's what the setting is supposed to be. Good morning, Trenches. You took the same trade at 555, spread 4 micros for a total of 125 ticks. Nice. Yeah, I thought it was gonna be able to push hard enough since it was going off of my mid level and not my minor level. My minor level, I'm a lot more careful. Like I have more parameters for that because the pullback isn't as deep, so it's not as strong, you know. My code work. Thank you, Trenches. Like I told you in the messages, I had to reach out to support and they told me that somehow, some way, somebody canceled or deleted my code for whatever reason. So yeah, I don't know what's up with that. How are you guys trading this morning so far? Oh, Trenches, since you're just coming in, so I got into a couple of trades this morning I was not supposed to be in. I was super tired. Like I'm still super tired. My eyes are heavy. I probably won't even write in my trade journal before I go back to sleep. Like I am that tired. Um and then it was just a couple, like I had one trade where it actually hit my take profit and went past it by like 2 ticks, I think, and didn't close it and then just immediately came back to my break even. So that was kind of trash. But aside from that, yeah, I was kind of screwing up a little bit this morning, which I guess it is what it is. I just need this account to survive through next week, and then I'll be able to start adding my other accounts back. Like I can trade this one on the 15th. This one I'll be able to start trading on the 15th as well. I think 1, 2, 3. I'll see what I want to do with this one. This one I might not start until the week of the 22nd, actually. But yeah, all of these are coming back slowly towards the end of the month. So I want to say I have to be careful, but I mean, I'm just still going to trade it how it is. If I end up with no accounts, then we trade sim until the other ones reset for free because I don't pay no reset fee. Okay? That was bars. But yeah, so now that all my levels are showing properly, I still cannot believe that I didn't realize that my levels show differently on a 5-day chart than 7. And I know that some indicators are like that, but I didn't think that that one was because it's based on intraday data, I thought. So what happened 7 days ago shouldn't really matter. I'm going to go look real quick because that screwed me big time yesterday. That's why I had such a huge loss day yesterday because the levels weren't showing. And as soon as I changed my live charts from 5 to 7, all the levels popped up, and that's what I have been back testing on. So I know now. I think the only reason I didn't have 7 days worth of data on my charts is because I didn't want it to have to load 7 days worth of the order flow VWAP, which I know the order flow VWAP can be a super heavy indicator. But thus far, I've been okay. It hasn't made it lag or anything today, so I guess I can stick with it. Why can't I open up the super pivot? Oh, there we go. Let's see. Works on intraday charts. Does not plot weekly, monthly, yearly pivots. Okay, so if it's an intraday indicator, I don't understand why 7 days is different than 5. The pivot calculations are based on the previous day's range and price action analysis. The mid pivot point is automatically rearranged to smartly adapt to today's open. Therefore, it's immune to the common problem that most pivot indicators suffer, which is a big gap. If today's open makes a very big gap, other pivots may turn useless because they don't handle this or the handling is very limited, but this special algorithm makes it adaptive to any gap size. So if it's based on the previous day's range and price action analysis, you wouldn't think that having 5 days on your chart versus 7 is even important because it's only based off the previous day. Yeah, that's crazy. I don't know, but I do find that it works best on a 7 day chart. That is for sure. Are we still in that same candle? Yes. So I don't know if you guys can hear the doorbell that goes off all day because my mic is kind of far away from my computer. But the doorbells is just the alerts to tell me that a reversal bar happened. Only time it doesn't actually alert me is if too many, like if this bar closes and multiple bars close in the same like second, it won't do it. You're trading terrible today, but that's why you only traded one account because you kind of felt it today. Listen, when you feel it, trust your instincts. You've been doing this long enough to know. Long enough to know. But I hope by the time you get off, you'll be able to bring your accounts back. I don't know, with it being, it's Friday, right? Yeah, with it being Friday and only an hour left, I don't think I'll be able to, but what else? You know what? I'll go through and show you guys because since I'm not going to do the daily overview until until next week. So I'll show you guys the trades that I screwed up on this morning. So this was the first one. I took a sell. Clearly, you guys can see that I used the current open as a support level. I took a sell there, and you can see it immediately went a couple ticks and went against me. But then it kind of continued here down to hit the take profit. So for a while, I felt like, it didn't matter, especially since I'm trading like more volume based now, but I guess it still matters. So let me see. What is that? 1,000. Let me see if I'm going to get into this trade before I show you guys some of the other trades. I'm so exhausted. Almost got back to the current high, but we fell just a tick short of it. All right, that's gonna take some time. All right, so let's go backwards some more. Let's see the other trade. This was a really nice trade. That one was fine, but this is the one where it hit my take profit and didn't fill me, and then hit the take profit, didn't fill me, and came back and hit my break even. Like, what the hell is that? What is that? I don't understand. Let me make sure. And it's about to be 10 o'clock, so I gotta make sure I'm doing like yesterday and just paying attention to the fact that I can't trade 4 of my setups after 10 versus just one setup anymore. As long as this closes below 55.25, I'll get into the sale. All right, well, that's gone now. All right, so let's go back. So I showed you all that one. Then this next one here was a divergence trade, but it started with the double top, which my overall bias was an uptrend. So what I'm noticing is that my divergence can start with the double top as long as I'm still going in the direction of my overall trend bias. So because this bias was an uptrend, I literally just lost a trade like this, maybe two. I know one for sure earlier this week. This trade here was not a valid trade. I don't even know. I don't think it was. I'll have to check. Oh yeah, I don't trade my 1 bar pullback very much, and yeah, I'm not sure about that one. What else? That was a good trade. It's been some break evens today, really. I don't know why I wasn't taking that trade. Then we had news, and let me make sure. We gotta push up quite a bit. So since then, I really only took this one. This is the trade I said I don't really know. I think when the body of the candle closes over the previous open or the current open or the previous close, I don't think I'm gonna get into those anymore if it's just like my regular pullback with the trend. Maybe with divergence, because divergence is much stronger than my minor level pullbacks. So I just feel like even though there was enough volume to like support the trade, I think that I just can't do it on my minor pullbacks. And then this one, I just got stopped out by a couple ticks and it ran straight to my take profit. This one stopped out at break even, ran to my take profit. So I wasn't like doing super horrible today. It's just the break evens. Normally, I don't really have a lot of break evens, maybe once or twice a day, but I have so many trades that kind of overtakes it where it's not as bothersome. But today I didn't have a lot of trades, and then with me having those trades in there I wasn't supposed to trade, that just didn't help at all. All right, so one of my setups I'm no longer trading after 10 is any form of divergence that is counter trend. If it's so I'm in an overall uptrend bias right now. So if I had some divergence down here to go back up, it's fine. But going against the overall trend bias, no. I'm also not taking any pullbacks to my major levels after 10 o'clock because they're too, I guess my thought process of why those particular things probably don't work as well between 10 and 11 is because the market has slowed down significantly. The volume has been pulled out, and it's not as volatile. So even if the volume patterns that I'm looking at are valid, between 10 and 11, it's not anymore for counter trend trades or for deep pullbacks. Everything else, I'm fine. And 1 bar pullbacks, I don't do after 10 either. It is toasty in here now. It's cold at first. So hopefully I can get a couple of trades in, at least 1 or 2 that win. Please, please make them win before I get off today. Otherwise, I'll be going into next week with about $750 in drawdown left on this account. And I could drop down to micros, but it's no point because I don't ever plan on doing that in PAs. So I like to trade the evals like I would PAs, which is why I've allowed myself to just struggle through it. Because my goal is, once I get funded, to not lose a PA. Which I know won't be an easy feat. But that's why I'm taking my time to develop everything so that it can increase my chances of that happening, because blowing evals and having them reset for free doesn't bother me in any way, shape, or form. If I still had to pay for resets and there was no free reset on renewal, I probably would have traded sim versus doing the evals, but all of my accounts are 80% renewal. I've had them for a while, so 1055. What is that? 861. Looking for a sell at the close of this particular bar if it closes down. My back is starting to hurt again. I went like 3 days with no back pain, and now the pain is back. And I don't like that. It's to open 6. Is that not going to come back? Nope. That does not happen very often. That sucks. That was a very nice trade. Did it not pull back at all? Oh, it did not pull back at all. And the difference between the reversal bar and the second bar was only like 0.004 seconds. So it just happened too fast to be able to catch that pending order. Yeah, that happened too fast. Lag 0 1. What did I say it was? 0.004. Yeah. Yeah, anytime that second bar closes less than 0.01 seconds, because that's the lowest lag I can get, and it'll just blow past if it doesn't have any type of pullback. And it did not. It just literally took off. That was a really nice setup. It was right below that new higher low and everything, or right at it. Oop, that's not what I wanted to do. Hmm. That trade would have brought me back just a little bit. That would have been nice considering the day. I'm actually going to. You lost 9 PAs, and I lose them right after taking a payout. I do it to myself because I do stuff that I know I shouldn't, like averaging in. Well, the good thing is you did it after payout. Because I've been seeing a lot lately people requesting the payout, still trading, losing the PAs, and like, oh, do I still get paid out? No, you weren't approved. And you have some people that are blaming Apex, like, oh, well, they should have a faster approval process and they should do this and they should do that. And okay, yeah, it would be nice if you're approved within 24 hours or before the next trading session opens. However, we know that they're not automatic, so why risk it? At least you risked it after you got your money. But you know what? I just feel like if you, when you get to the point where you pass the eval and get to a PA, if you've done it from like structured trading, whatever structured trading strategy you have, you're good. if you lose PAs, you lose them. Sometimes your strategy might not be working in the current market condition or whatever, but at least like, I can get this back. You know what I mean? When you're doing it based off of pure gambling, like a lot of people do, when they lose that PA, baby, they don't know if they're going to get another one. And a lot of times it's because most of them are doing some kind of news trading, just putting in some kind of order right before news and windfall because they know that they can do it in eval. And I've seen some people say, well, they should have eval rules the same way that they have it on PA. First of all, I don't know if any company does that. And Apex does a lot of manual labor when it comes to proven PAs. Excuse me. So you can't use that same manpower on evals, especially when a lot of people don't even get to pay out from the PAs. But that was the biggest thing with me since I started this process was I didn't want to pass before I was ready. I didn't. Give me 1 second. Okay, I think I'm good. But yeah, I didn't want to pass accounts before I was ready. I think the closest I ever got was like halfway to. And I was like, we got to go back. We got to go back. We got to go back. Because I don't want to pass before I'm ready. I don't think that that's even smart to do. Cuz this for me is not a gamble. Like I'm trying to be able to walk away from my nursing career for good. And I can't do that off of a gamble. You know what I'm saying? Like I have to do that with good intentions, with structure in order for that to work. You just have to. Excuse me. So, I mean, I get it. Some people need money right now or whatever the case may be. And not working for the last year sucks financially. Trust you me. However, I was just telling my grandma yesterday, like, I'm keeping my eyes on the prize. Like, I know that no job is ever going to be able to pay me the way that trading can. And thankfully, I have money saved up. I have a good support system, so I'm good on that front. But I just don't want to gamble this. I want to make it make sense. If my strategy, like right now, is just sucking, it's just sucking. It just is. But looking at the overall picture, this was not, if I only took the trades that I was supposed to take, knowing what I know now about needing these certain levels on a 7-day chart and not trading certain setups after 10, like all of those things, I would still be up for the week. Even yesterday was my worst day of the week, but I actually was supposed to be up $400 yesterday. So I should be up like $2,900. I don't know what it would be if I count in today's trades with only the trades that were valid. But this week in those 3 days, I should have been up $2,900. So I can't be mad at anything. I just have to keep learning and keep tweaking and keep making things better. And that's it. This is No, it didn't pull all the way back yet. Now it did. 1280 again. I mean, that put me in and just completely went. I'm surprised because technically we didn't retest that high. I mean, it was one tick away, but I'm not taking that. I don't want to take any sale right there. 40 minutes until I take the nap of a lifetime. And watch, as soon as I take my contacts out and lay down, I ain't gonna be able to fall asleep, and it's gonna piss me off. We're getting close to the level that I have that would turn this from an overall uptrend bias to a downtrend. It's at 21.25. 'Come on, VWAP, push me up, please. All right, that's off a little bit. God dang it, what is the... So it needs to trail one extra tick behind. Come on. This is crazy. That is insane. Let me fix that. Wait, no, 14 was right. The stop loss is wrong. What did that 36.75? I needed to go 2 more ticks to move my stop loss to break even. All right, I got $500 left on this account. I think I fixed the trail problem. Need to write it down so I don't forget it. Hold on. When I deviate from my strategy is when I mess up, and that's just me not having the right trading psychology every day. Like I had resistance at 16,580. Why would I try and scalp along at 570? Yeah. The crazy thing is, like, you're not the only one that's like that, though. At all. Like, most people, it's their psychology. For me, like, I don't think I've ever really gone on tilt. I don't think even like early on in my trading journey, I don't think I ever did that. I've always like I've always had a problem with being consistently profitable because I had whatever strategy I was trading at the time was not a consistently profitable strategy. And I think the only reason why the psych part doesn't really get to me like that with trading is just because like I'm naturally, I don't want to say rigid or like, well, I have a little bit of OCD, but I'm just naturally like a planner and a like stick to the plan kind of person. So that probably helps me from a trading aspect because I just stick to my plan. If my strategy is not where it needs to be, then I just need to study more. I just need to back test more, that kind of thing. So I've been lucky on that front where the psychology part, I don't think has ever really been my problem. Do I get frustrated sometimes? Absolutely. Like I would be crazy to say that I don't get irritated because I do. Let me just make that absolutely clear. Absolutely, I get irritated. Like today is a day that could easily irritate me, but I think I would get more irritated when I have a session with no mistakes and take every trade I'm supposed to be in, don't take any trade I'm not supposed to be in, and I just have a losing day. That would probably irritate me more than anything because it'll be like, man, I thought my strategy was ready, that kind of thing, and it's not. So that would probably bother me more than anything. But like I said, I don't go on tilt from it though. See if we can get a continuation down. Maybe not. What is that? 674. Then the other thing is like all the back testing that I did is based on like my strategy is based on consistent patterns in the market. So that's the other reason why when I lose is like that was really annoying because I'm trading patterns that happen literally every day, all year, every week, every month, all year. So getting to this point of developing it to this point where I'm at now has been a lot. It's been a struggle. It's been very freaking annoying. However, I feel like I'm the most confident in where my strategy is right now versus how it's been this entire year that I've been putting it together. So that's good. But sometimes when you are that close, it's the most frustrating. The most frustrating. Because it's like when I was just losing because I couldn't figure things out and I'm tweaking this and I think this is going to work and no, that's not really, that doesn't matter and things like that. It's like, whatever. But to feel like I'm this close to my goal, but not be exactly there already, that's like the most frustrating thing ever because I've literally accomplished a lot in my 33 years on this earth. And most things that everything that I've put my mind to, I have mastered in some way, shape, or form. Trading is the only thing, when I say the only thing, trading is the only thing that I have not been able to master that I have put my mind to. Now, did I put my mind to it consistently over the last 9 years? Hell no. I got irritated, and hey, I make more money. I make good money as a nurse, so whatever. I'll just stick to nursing for now until this stops pissing me off. Like, that was my thought process. But now it's hard finding a job in my particular specialty. We don't have a lot of openings in this area with an agency working PRN in my specialty. So I'm extremely limited. So this is like, I wouldn't say my end all be all. There's other things that I can do. I can reopen my business. There's so much that I can do. I just don't want to do that stuff anymore. I'm getting to the age now where it's like, no, it's time to stop putting this off. This is what you've wanted to do for the last 9 years. Figure it out. That's how I talk to myself. I talk to myself like I would talk to my child, my friend would. Figure it out. Because you don't have a choice. I have a choice, but I don't have a choice at the same time. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I'm just going to stay the course and we're going to see what happens. I'm going to take a buy on this reversal divergence. Not sure how I feel about it wicking off of the level that changed this from a buy to a sell, but okay, that's really ugly. Come on and push. Don't get stuck at my minor level. It's minor. It doesn't matter. Don't make it matter. My minor level is at 3075, which is what it's pushing off of right now. As if it's not a weak level to begin with. 674. Come on, push through. If this closes down, I'm getting into the sell. What is going on? Why is the market moving so weird? It's like 1300 volume in this one candle. What do you want to do? It's so erratic. Okay, obviously this is some really important area. There's 2100 volume in this one Rinko candle. That's a lot. No, we needed it to go two more ticks to move my stop loss to break even. And see, I normally don't. My major level that tells me when it changes from an uptrend to a downtrend, I normally don't care much about this level. Like, but obviously I probably should, because even now, like, it's struggling to push past it. You know what I mean? So those are just things I have to pay attention to, and I probably won't backtest it. Honestly, I'll probably just stay away from it. It's really no freaking big deal. Um, I wanted to look at. There was a lot going on right there. That's not what I want. Why is it so hard? I hate when websites are so different on mobile than it is on the computer. That sucks. I was actually bringing that account back a little bit. But those two losses back to back kind of screwed me. Today. Oh, I wanted to look. I thought maybe the bonds came out or something. Like, why did it just start moving like that at 10:30? But I know from now on, just stay away when the divergence, kind of like I do with my other support levels, stay away when it's that major level that just turn things from one trend to the next, and just don't trade off of it. It's no big deal because it doesn't happen very much. So staying away from those will be absolutely easy. Because even when did it change from a downtrend to an uptrend? Oh, that was like way back here at 7 something. Let me see. Did it happen yesterday? Because most of the time when it changes like that, it kind of blows through and then doesn't trade around it. Yeah, see, actually, one of my losses yesterday was off of that. And why isn't that one level there anymore? That's what I'm talking about. Where is it? This indicator is going to drive me nuts. All right, that one was fine. I want to go back to all right, put that back on the chart so I can see. Yeah, it doesn't trade around the changeover level very much. So as long as it doesn't push off of it like that one did, as long as it closes over, that one. This is what I talk about when I'm talking about just learning new patterns, because this doesn't happen often, but it makes sense why it moved that way. So if it's the minor pullback, I can't. And that used to be something that I paid attention to. All right, so this is another time. That's invalid because of the VWAP anyway. There is no trade there that day. No trade that day. So, that's the start of a double bottom start, but still the same thing happened there. Okay, so that's something that I can make note of. That's easy to remember. That ain't even something I gotta write down because I used to trade this way. So if the divergence wicks off, don't get into it. And if I gotta pull back to my minor level and it doesn't close on it or wick off of it, then I can't get into it. That makes sense. It's a major level. All right, I could deal with that. At any point, I could have really just broke even on both of them for real, but just hoping that next week is a better week. Yeah, that makes total sense. Yeah, that's super easy to stay away from because the market doesn't switch trends, but usually about once, maybe twice a day. So got 20 minutes left. I just really hope I can keep this account through next week because I don't want to trade on a sim account at all. But I'm also not going to pay to reset any of them, and I'm not going to trade my $50,000 account too early either. So and I think after dealing with how things went this week, I think I am going to make sure that I do just completely fail an account right before the renewal, because with this account I didn't do that. I just brought the balance back above where it needed to be in the threshold back to 2500. But then when weeks like this happen where, okay, I did that because I felt like my strategy was where I wanted it to be, right? It's how I always feel. But it wasn't. And I learned a lot of stuff this week that needed to be implemented. So had I not done that and I just completely failed this account, I would be restarting this account brand new on Monday versus only having 500 in drawdown left right now. So that is something to think about, which hopefully this is my last set of blown accounts. The last time I had all of them blown at one time, probably all but one, was the last time there was a rhythmic issue that Apex did not acknowledge and said it was not widespread, even though it was a ton of people who had proof, who record their sessions and everything. And we have all these people who are saying the same thing in different parts of the world, but whatever. So that was the last time that I lost, I think, all of my accounts that I had at the time. So that would really suck if this one is gone before Friday of next week, but that's another lesson learned. Just blow the account, because I give myself 3 weeks to trade an account before it needs to blow. Because if I can't pass it in 3 weeks, my strategy isn't where I need it to be. Because with scalping and with what my stop loss and take profit is, if my strategy is where it needs to be, I'm not taking 3 weeks to pass an account. So there's no reason to get it back to the initial drawdown with a little bit of extra profit in the account when for that 3 weeks it wasn't ready yet, the strategy wasn't. So that's definitely something else that I think I'm going to take heed to, because no matter how much I think my strategy is ready, every week I realize it ain't ready yet. Even with me coming to YouTube, I only came to YouTube because I didn't want to, not that I don't care about being transparent with losses. I literally don't care. And just like other traders or streamers, like, other people's opinions don't bother me at all. However, the only reason why I wanted to come to YouTube after my strategy was where I wanted it to be was because I didn't want to have to go through the ups and downs of trying to figure it out, editing YouTube videos, because this week is the last week where I'm only doing the lives. I'm going to start doing the daily overviews and the weekly overviews as well. I already have a thumbnails and everything, okay? Have my descriptions and just all the things that you need in order. So I just didn't want to have to, okay, I'm supposed to really record this video today, but I really need to back test, because that's actually what happened to me earlier this week and why I didn't end up starting the daily updates. Because by the time I was like, okay, I'll go ahead and do it, I don't like starting in the middle of the week. And we didn't start the week on a Monday trading day anyway, but still. So for me, it's like, I just don't want the headache of trying to still be in my back testing and studying mode while trying to do YouTube at the same time, because I know myself. I will sit on this computer for 16 hours in a day back testing and analyzing data, and I have to go back and look at this and I got to go back and look at that. And that's a lot when you're trying to build a YouTube channel and record and edit and all those other things that you need to do when you're not doing a live stream. So that was really the only reason why I didn't want to come to YouTube before my strategy was where I wanted it to be. But as you guys can see, I'm a transparent person. If I'm losing, I'm losing. It is what it is. I don't come on claiming to be some kind of expert. I'm not a beginner by any means, because I've been doing this for a long time and I've tested hundreds of indicators and plenty of strategies, at least 50 strategies, like low key, high key. And I noticed certain patterns in the market. The only thing right now is I'm trading volume-based strategy now. That's kind of what I've transitioned to 2 weeks ago. And that within itself is something brand new to learn. The different volume patterns and ways that I was back testing before, I didn't even look at volume. You know, I didn't look at certain things. So, um, all of that stuff is important, you know, and it all takes time. But I just want to be able to go back and look at all of these videos in the future and just be able to say, man, like, I really did it. I really did it. I need, let's see, 1366. I know once I get my first payout, I'm going to do a video where I show you guys my online trade journal so you guys can see how much I was losing to get to this point. And even then, I can't even show you that because I deleted all the data before October. It was like every time I made a drastic change to my strategy, all the trades that I took before it was like irrelevant to me to have in my trade journal. But I also didn't think I was ever going to start for real documenting my journey. So, had I thought about that, I would have kept all of those trades in there just so people could see, you know. But it is what it is. 1366. And we're. Oh, that was a late entry. That's all right. I'll pull the stop loss. Ooh. Hello. 99. I think that's supposed to move to break even by now. Yeah, it is. All right, that was a nice one. Hello. I can do what I want. Yeah, sorry, Rand. I was still on the phone. My best friend called me on his break from work. Um, this is where we're ending today. I'm down 650 and I'm going into next week with about 624 in drawdown. So I kind of feel good going into next week, honestly, just because I have so much more knowledge and there was so many trades this week that were invalid based on, new data that I got or new insights, whatever. And I'm cool with that. So next week, like I said, I will start the daily updates and then the weekly updates as well. And in those daily updates, I'm going to show you guys the trade journal, just all of those things, the statistics, and kind of go from there. But I thank you guys for tuning in. And hopefully, you guys had a good trading session or you finished with a good trading session. And I will see you guys next week. Yes, I'm going to get some good rest and I'm definitely going to keep honing in on my craft. Trust you me, I am going to be one of the best traders on YouTube. I can promise you because I have the dedication and the will to do it. Yes. So thank you for your support and thank you for tuning in and I'll see you guys next week.